Hey y'all, it's Trent Knox with the Trent Knox Show, episode 58. And in this episode, I just wanted to hop on real quick and talk about feeling stagnant and feeling stuck and feeling like you need to just jump out of your skin to go and do something because, maybe you feel like you're not getting everything you want out of life, or you're not making enough money. Maybe you're not experiencing enough things. Well, I just wanted to get on here and talk about that. Okay, so for starters, if you're watching this on YouTube after the live stream, which I'm currently live on Twitch, you can go down and hit the subscribe button, give this video a like, hit the notification bell. As always, in the description below is a description of the video, the title, and then below that is going to be your gig opportunities, social media tools, and then all of the social media following links that you need to get in contact with me after the show. So I'm sitting here in bed and I'm waiting for the landscaper to come today to do the backyard. And actually, first off is going to be the pooper scooper guys coming in to take care of picking up the dog poop, and then it's going to be the landscapers later. But I was just sitting in bed, man, and I was emailing back and forth with DoorDash, and I was talking, with Uber and Lyft and all of these different businesses that I'm currently partnered with, doing delivery services, ride sharing, gig economy type of jobs. And sometimes you just run into, like, when you start a new opportunity, like I'm starting this new opportunity with DoorDash, that there's kind of like an unnecessary waiting period for some reason. You get your background check back and it comes back clean. Then you gotta wait for your activation kit. You have to wait for them to approve you on the app, and there's all of this time that's being consumed when people could get to work. And this is something that was being discussed on the Gary Vee podcast recently about how in manufacturing there's just so much red tape involved in being in business, and that there are a lot of small, petty little things that ultimately lead to a larger cost for the company, and these decisions on shutting down operations for something so small as maybe like a cup of coffee or a pair of gloves, a plastic bag. All of these things seem rudimentary to the overall greatness, overall value of what comes from the production, and that's monetary or the good to society, whatever it may be, you know what I mean. And so it's kind of like what I was thinking a lot about blockchain this morning, and yesterday, if you were able to catch my live stream on Facebook, and then I switched over to Twitch, and I was having difficulties doing live streaming. The phone kept overheating, it was dying. I couldn't get the cigarette lighter, or the charging port, car charger wouldn't charge the phone faster than the battery was dying, so I was dealing with that. Yesterday, I paid off my debt to T-Mobile that was in collections when my business account went into collections, and so I'm happy about that. And so once I got that all fixed up, now I have all these devices, and I'm trying to figure out how to get these devices unlocked so I can sell them, so I can earn the money back that I paid for them, and there's just so much going on. I thought I lost this iPhone that I got from T-Mobile, but it's locked right now to T-Mobile, and you can't put a SIM card on in it to use it. So I'm just, just kind of dealing with a bunch of nonsense. And so, it's things like that. So I started thinking about blockchain, really. And this was yesterday, and most of it was this morning. I started thinking about blockchain and cryptocurrency and ledgers and white papers and all of the things that go into building a blockchain. I recently was looking at this local Austin-based content creator that does a lot of like Jerry Springer type stuff, YouTube generated stuff, but now he's doing like uncensored 6th Street content with girls that do some like Girls Gone Wild type of content, and then he built that, and now he's doing this coin, and this is I'm not getting anything from this promotion wise, but he's got this thing called Slops Coin, and he talks about it in a way that it's gonna revolutionize his industry and how he's gonna be able to do things with this Slops Coin, that he's partnered with other people, which there's no validity out of that yet. It's just all hearsay right now until he can actually put out a press release with what companies he's currently working with. But regardless, I've been thinking myself, like, how do I put together something like that? How do I build a loyalty coin for my companies, so that if you go somewhere like wherever you go, that you can earn a little bit of cash back, but we're not gonna do cash back. We're gonna do cryptocurrency back for utilizing the services. So like I want to build this loyalty coin system that allows for people to get a card, something like a fuel rewards system that's kind of annotated with the old system of points. Speaking of that, I've been thinking a lot lately about credit cards. I think I talked to you guys before on the podcast about the importance of billing credit and how jobs, employers, leasing agents, all these people look at your credit and how important it is. So I've been looking at credit cards, lines of credit, all different types of ways to start out and start building a credit history. Because right now I don't have that many lines of credit. I don't have a long history of credit. So I kind of had to start building it, and I'm very wary of it because I've made so many mistakes in the past. So like it's an investment, but it's also like you have to pay the system in order to garner something out of the system. And so like with the blockchain, that anonymity could allow for someone to, if you need to borrow loyalty tokens in order to pay for something, and it comes at an interest rate, the interest rates can be much lower because the opportunity to garner currency cryptocurrency is in the moment. It's never the market never closes with cryptocurrency. It's a global market. It's not. There will never be one coin to rule them all. There will never be one thing. There's always going to be application-based coins that will change the way that people utilize the tokens. Whether that's Ethereum, Litecoin, blockchain, or Bitcoin, whatever the token asset, whatever it is, it'll all have an application. So like similar to what I'm talking about, I would probably want to build my coin off of the Ethereum blockchain and create a token, a loyalty token for Austin Live and Local or, you know, Trent Knox, depending upon what kind of reciprocation there can be with the viewership, with the people listening in, tuning in here on Twitch, or tuning in on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever, and allowing them to get some sort of incentive back from the content that I create, the media that I produce. Yeah, and so, like, a lot of what I've been thinking about has been how to diversify my income, you know, get multiple streams of income coming in and utilizing that to build a bigger brand, potentially a company that I can, you know, provide a financial livelihood for employees, or contractors, or foreigners, whatever it may be. I'm just trying to understand business and doing good business, doing great business, doing excellent business, and elevating. You know, I don't want to be the type of person that utilizes slave labor, indentured servitude. I want to be the person that, you know, educates individuals on how to build their own business, but have an opportunity to establish themselves, create a foundation for their overall success or growth in the workforce, and also in investment, and in acquisitions, or whatever it may be. I think that the people that, this goes back to last episode where I talked about mentorship. I've never personally had a mentor that I can look up to and say, that person really, you know, set me on the right track, that they had any influence in the direction in which I was going. They've always had to. Every person who has been an employer has been going in the opposite direction of positive. They've all been going toward negative. They've all been losing their streams of income by getting into bad relationships with things that don't profit, that don't have a positive ROI. It seems like a lot of the men in business like to spend their money on frivolous things like alcohol, drugs, women, and I've learned all of the issues with those vices on my own. I've never had anyone direct me in my consumption of those things, in my pursuit to learn from those things. It's always been some sort of peer pressure, or no one has ever educated me on the proper use of vices, how to utilize those vices to grow, because no one has ever successfully done it. No one has, unless you're talking about Joe Rogan with marijuana, or McKenna with LSD, and the journalist, I'm blanking right now, but the journalist that Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas gentleman who wrote a lot on on the utilization of drugs, but he condemned them toward the end of his life, seeing that it was actually a negative towards his overall livelihood. And I think that people just haven't been that voice of reason for me. I've always been my own voice of reason, and not my mom, not my stepfather, not my grandmother. They have all had their own perspectives, and none of them have been elite perspectives, alpha perspectives, apex perspectives, the best, top 10, the pursuit, the hustler, the go-getter. They've never been that perspective. They've always been dependent on someone else. And throughout my life, growing up, I've always been a dependent myself. I've always been this person reliant on a system, reliant on my family, always consistently reliant on something else, not self-sufficient, not 100% linear. It's in sync with my kundalini, with my chi, with my spiritual being. My chakras have not been all aligned, or whatever your conceptualization of reality is. Mine is more rudimentary, like basic. It's a basic understanding, a common sense of perspective. It's the on and the off. Are you performing at your best capability 110%? Are you performing? Are you working as hard as you possibly can till your bones hurt, and you're overexhausted? You're as fat as you want to be. You're as skinny as you want to be. You're in champion mentality. You're always working hard, going at it, never slow, never having anyone see any of the wrong perspective, always in the right perspective, always being observed correctly, always being persistent, always working toward a greater future, always on, always working. Then, when you realize that is unachievable, that there's the exhaustion of the body, and that the pain, the suffering, the turmoil that is reflective of your lack of comprehension of the reality, and that you are being oppressed and suppressed by the not the universe, but the opposition, for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. So as you work and you hear the devil on your shoulder, on your right and your left, or the devil and angels on your shoulder, and you hear them telling you what's going on in the world, how to have a perception, and you begin to have negative conception of yourself because you're not doing enough. You're not enough. You'll never be enough. The only way for you to be is to be in motion, to be active, to be constantly on. And when you're off, you are immediately losing. Sleeping is losing. It is you have been giving away the opportunity to achieve. You are sacrificing for your physical well-being if the turmoil and pressure of being active has depreciated your physical well-being, then you have to sleep. But the issue is that in order to perform while sleeping, in order to perform and do well with sleeping, you have to have the best of conditions. And many of us do not have that. Many of us aren't educated on how to reach REM sleep, aren't educated on the way to rest our bodies, put our bodies to rest, but not in the sense of rest in peace as in death, but as in understanding how to reach a state of symbiosis to become balanced in your sleep in order to reach a resting state. And like this morning with me personally, I woke up from abruptly because of obstacles that were occurring outside of my sleeping state instead of my resting state while I was asleep. I had to wake up out of that sleep abruptly because of problems and someone yelling at me, I need help! And I wake up and it's my grandmother, and she's rushing to work because she's always rushing to work. She's always rushing somewhere. And she says, my car, it won't start. I run to the car. And she says, the steering wheel's locked up. Not in the same way, but in my head I'm thinking, oh Lord, here we go again. Because this is happening all the time, and I'm constantly being yelled at when I'm getting that rest I need, the thing that I need in order to perform. Because if I don't get that, then I'm performing at a depreciation. I'm at 98% because I wasn't able to fuel up my tank. It's almost another way to personify this, another way to illustrate, another way to create a simile, something that's like this is I'm at the gas pump, I'm filling up my car, I use the automatic detection for fueling. I put the gas lever down, I'm pumping, and the gas, the gas pump keeps shutting off. It's just click, 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 click. And immediately my aggravation just keeps on rising. It keeps rising. The aggravation keeps rising. Why is the gas pump shutting off? What's going on? The car's off. The pump is in the tank. Why is it shutting off? Why is this happening to me? Why is this? Why am I dealing with this? And I calm down, and I take that stupid gas tank pump, and I shove it back in there, push it in there, and I click it, I put it, and it sticks, and it's fine, and it's finally working, because I shoved it in there, pushed it in there, and it stuck, and it pumped, and it did what it needed to do, because that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to produce. And when something refuses to produce when its job is to produce, it begins to create a negative perception. Much like someone with low T, a woman that chooses not to have children, many things. And I know this is a controversial subject matter, but we're put into this world for basic reasons: to procreate, to do, to not sit, be lazy asses, and reap off the government. Get money from being in the military, from being a pencil pusher that sends out regulations on people. We're not meant to do these things. We're supposed to be people of action, people doing things, building things. We're supposed to be producing. And it's constantly, when people don't look for context and look for why someone is doing things, they just check in, and they don't get with the picture. They don't understand that there's a bigger picture. Constantly asking questions, constantly not learning for themselves. Frustrating. But we only have so much time on this earth, and for people to be lazy and not produce all of the time, it's interesting that we see that that we get into these things where we have to have these constant battles with people over email about why they're not doing their job. Why are they not on all the time? Why isn't there 24/7? This goes back to the blockchain. It goes back to understanding that we need access to support all the time. We need to know who, we need to have a direct contact with the gatekeepers all the time. If there's gonna be a gate, that access to that gate should be available all the time. So if you have an issue of technical support, someone should be there 24/7. It shouldn't be wait 24 hours, wait 48 hours. There should be no block, or there should be no broken links in the chain. That's why it's called a blockchain. That's why we're dealing. That's why our world right now, as it transitions from the old mentality of person to person off of the online system, is going through so much growing pains, is because not everybody knows what the blockchain is and understands that it's a peer-to-peer network that is on approval over a ledger, and that it's arithmetic computations that validate and verify over all of time that transaction. And that when someone makes a transaction or does an action, that is validated over a public ledger for people to utilize their mining systems in order to validate that transaction. So everyone has the opportunity of being a part of the system. Whereas, in this current system with social justice warriors, transvestites, sexual agendas, all different people being oppressed and told that they can't be a part of a society that it's it goes to the whole statement by Martin Luther King Jr. Judge not someone by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. And the blockchain is the solution, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you look like. Your miner, your ASICs miner, your GPU miner, whatever it is that you utilize to mine blockchain. It doesn't matter what it looks like, as long as it performs, as long as it does those arithmetic computations and validates on the public blockchain or public ledger what instances are occurring on the blockchain, and you will get reciprocated through rewards based on what form of token on that system you are currently mining. So if this goes back to the original subject point before I got onto the blockchain, was productivity and the fact of feeling stuck and stagnant and in place and feeling like there's nothing happening, that you're the type of person that broadcasts to 0 people. You've got 0 followers, and that everybody who says that the person that's successful, the person that's doing well on social media, online, has to have 10,000 followers, 10,000 subscribers, 10,000 viewers, 10,000 likes, 10,000, whatever arbitrary number to validate your perception, validate the token that you're creating, the personal token, the validity, that blue check mark, whatever it is, like that thing that gives you, that thing that gives others the appreciation of you, the individual. So the society looking at you, whereas the blockchain doesn't care about anything but the production that you're putting into the system. It's so whenever you wake up and you're stuck in a world of 2 different things, the old world and the new world of blockchain, the offline and the online, it literally will make you lose your mind if someone is being obtrusive to your direction when something fails and you have to go fix that failure because you're the only one there to fix it. You're the only one there that's knowledgeable enough and can educate individuals that are F students, D students, C students, B students, A students, and give them something to build off of. Talk dum-dum, go stupid, go doo-doo, go poo-poo, but then also go to the upper echelon and speak about eloquency and be perfected and be persistent. Be able to lose your mind while building your mind. You have to be able to do this in order to educate everybody on their different learning patterns, whether that's a physical learning, an emotional learning, an optical learning, an auditorial learning. It's It is an individual's job, once that they have learned something, once they are learned, to educate those unlearned. The learned must educate the unlearned. It's so basic. It's a basic understanding. It's common sense that it frustrates me to no end when I see the learned, the people that are learned, oppressing the unlearned, yet benefiting them, giving them more resources to be unlearned. That blows my mind. I personally have sacrificed personally the to the point at which you can't sacrifice anymore. The system does not allow. The system does not allow you to get to the point. The system will then require you to pay the system in order for you to fail more. If you want to escape the system that does not allow you to fail, you have to pay the system. But you can't earn from the system to pay the system to fail. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. If you want to be a homeless bum on the next street corner, you must sacrifice you have to get out of the system we call the United States of America. You have to get out of it, because there will always be an opportunity for you to achieve tokens in this city, in this world. People will observe, the system will observe you and hand you tokens. The system will reach the handout and provide the thing that does not exist in your world. It will not allow for you to fail. It will not allow for someone to be at production level 0. They will have homeless. The label of being homeless is a number that adds to the system. The system benefits from the analytics of the homeless population. If you are homeless in the United States of America, you are benefiting the system. Come on now. This is so basic. I feel like I'm dropping golden nuggets, but people just don't spend enough time thinking about this. Is that you can get to being homeless, and one step above that being getting a low income job or being on state benefits, and a step above that getting a mid-tier level job with, start from homeless to being homeless with a job to having a job and having a place to live, like a car or something like that, from having a job and staying at the homeless shelter there's many steps from going from nothing to something. And we see that all the time with people. It doesn't matter about your talent. It matters about what you can do. This society is about production and action and getting things done. And it's hard to justify. For me, it's hard to justify me not getting something done. I can't directly correlate the lack of productivity to a positive result. This system that we currently live in, the United States of America, is the foundation of it is a capitalist society that is determinant of the US dollar. And unless you have a trust fund, a large inheritance, you will be required to exist in a perfected balance to be outputting your energy towards positivity. But nobody gets that. Nobody understands that if you sit stagnant and your mind isn't focused on doing something new. This is one of the biggest fears that we have, is the fear of the unknown. I've never experienced that before. I've never done that before. I've never felt the feeling of being homeless. The system will not allow me to have that experience because my family has a family inheritance. My family has... The United States is an inheritance. You inherit the value of being a U.S. citizen, which the system will not allow you to fail. But if you are fortunate enough to have more than the lowest economic class of the United States of America, the ones with the trust funds, the inheritance, the system will not allow you to fail even further. The systems within the system that were developed by the ones that came before you, if you're part of a collective, or the ones that came before you if you're part of a family, will always look out for your best interests. Will never allow you to depreciate past the weakest link in that system. Which creates a avenue for fraudulent behavior, fraudulent activities. The fraudulent perspective being portrayed toward an audience of sheeple. The unlearned. When you're told you have nothing to worry about as a trust fund baby or a system baby or an inheritance baby, I can understand that this concept will be foreign to you. because there is no failure. The idea of failure, even though you can get to the point at which you perceive failure, it is not an actual failure because there is worse. However, the blockchain does not allow this. It does not allow fraudulent behavior. It doesn't allow for people to mock the reality. The computations and the validation are stingent upon existence. If fraudulent, the existence is fraudulent. So I personally think this is why the blockchain is best for production. I think in this state we'll see that people will understand that contributing towards the system will overall benefit the greater good. The old world, the new world, whatever you want to call it. We can call the new world the old world. The way that it was before. We seem to find ourselves attracted to the things that are old that get renewed. The things that were once in a state that became arbitrary and lost their patina, they just weren't as highly valued. And over time, as the supply of that depreciated, a one-off, a reproduction of that thing is highly valued. Such as that with, Old Town Road remix with Lil Nas and Billy Ray Cyrus, is that once one thing was old, it gets refreshed and renewed by a new form of thinking, a new conceptualization of the reality we live in. Because there's no such thing as off the grid. Everyone is in tune and linked into the system. The societies that are off the grid, that condemn the utilization of the blockchain, the societies that condemn the utilization of multimedia, the societies that condemn the use of electricity, they will ultimately fall and fail because they don't have the conceptualization of greater good. They have the conceptualization of the depreciation of all things good. The unfortunate part about this is that our dependency on another system is not entirely our loss of the system is what is good. Our loss of a governing body, an overall dictator of what should and shouldn't be done is the ultimate good. The ultimate good is the soul, the individual is able to navigate within the system without pressures of the fear of alienation, of ostracization, being ostracized in the world. Acceptance is a key thing. The issue is that the acceptance of some things in the old system, when it's not been upgraded or moved along to the new system, is a complete disregard for another entity within the system. So it's opposition. It's controlled opposition. And we see this all the time in our media, where things are fabricated to be displayed as an authentic, when in fact it's fabricated, and it's fictitious. It's not. There's no validity to it. Taking a brief moment there to kind of take all of that in. The world is in a state in which we all have to earn some sort of living, some sort of income, wherever that comes from, whether it's from developing blockchain to mowing a lawn, whatever it is, like whatever thing it is that you need to do in order to make a living for yourself, whether that is being homeless and shaking a can out in the streets, just to make a living for yourself. That's what this life is about. It's about this. That's what this life is about in a capitalist society. Any place that there's a monetary characteristic of the society at large, there's a market, and it's really, really difficult. It's the condition from a citizen in a capitalist society. It is the condition of someone in the capitalist society to not know what to do, not know how to always be earning money, not knowing always how to create multiple streams of income, not understanding how to take something to market, not knowing how to be a cog in someone else's machine, and also finding cogs to be a part of your machine. And that was something that I was dealing with this morning, like getting out of the whole conceptualization of this whole thing, but coming back down to earth with this, is that I didn't know what to do this morning, but I knew I needed to do something, and I was kind of stuck because I had to take the day off. I had landscapers coming over. I have people coming to do work at my house. So I have to be here present because they weren't giving me a direct time. And there's just so many problems that go on in life that kind of create this issue of finding what to do with your life, whether that's a leisure activity like playing video games or going to the pool or taking a vacation, whatever it may be. Shout out to the Twitch viewers right now. Shout out to you guys. Hello. It's a struggle in life to know what to do, and a lot of us who are lower economic class, middle class, who suffer from not always having the money to afford the luxuries in life, that don't know about business, don't know about, aren't educated, aren't learned on how to make money in multiple streams of income. We're constantly thinking of the loss. We're constantly thinking of where can we earn? Because if we take a vacation, if we make the sacrifice for our well-being, our emotional well-being, our physical well-being, or our social well-being, we ultimately lose our momentum without that multiple streams of income, without having something to replace the resources that were withdrawn. So I get up on a day in which I know that there's going to be a struggle, because my reality is based on an unemployed, self-employed, independent contractor, sole proprietor lifestyle, in which I have to go out and seek every day a financial contribution, whether that's, capital from a angel investor, or that's a loan. It's earned income from a gig economy job. It's the sale of goods. It's whatever it may be. Whatever will allow me to obtain success, because success is monetary in a capitalist society. So this morning when I wake up and I get abruptly woken up out of my slumber, and immediately I'm facing this danger, because things are all chaotic. They're all out of order. They all need to be put back into place. Things need to be rearranged. Things need to be conceptualized. Things are not taken care of for me. I take care of my things. And I fail. I fail as a human being. I fail as an individual when those things are not taken care of under my guise, under my responsibility. If I fail to make it happen, then it's my responsibility. If I fail to do the housework, if I fail to get the housework accomplished, whether I did it or someone else, then it is my failure. Then it is me who is responsible for the consequences of that failure. Life is chaotic, and when finally order is achieved, chaos reensues. Order does not maintain. Order is an accomplishment. And many times I feel that my mind isn't always at 110%. It's not always working at its peak condition. My body, for sure, and especially when I'm abruptly woken up out of my slumber. When I'm trying to achieve the rest of my body, because my mind is in constant chaos, because there is no support system. There's only me pursuant on closing a deal, on getting the capital, on building the relationships. It is me, an individual who is a sole proprietor, is unemployed, is seeking seeking opportunity to execute and finish what is in chaos, to achieve accomplishment of order. I am chaos. You are chaos. We are all chaos. When we bring order, to chaos, we are rewarded for that. We are rewarded for the fruits of our labor, for bringing order to chaos. When things do not seem that they are going according to plan, it seems as though we need to lower the P&Ls in order to earn more and lose less. Our expenditures need to be decreased in order for profits to overcome. Profits need to be profits need to be kept, and in order to keep profits, because you need multiple streams of income, you have to have opportunities coming in from multiple directions. And I feel like I'm in a failed state, because today is loss. My expenditures are greater than my profits. And what can I do if the system of people bringing order to me fail to bring me order? In a conditioned time. When individuals that run a business that are there to succeed in the alleviation of the problem, and they're running on an anecdoted system that does not give you definitive timeline, and you have to sacrifice the cost of the overall time loss, is incredible. It's incredible. It's an incredible system that we live in, because as bad press comes out about the blockchain, about ride-hailing services like Uber and Lyft, about on-demand opportunities where the regulations aren't completely intact. It's this constant observation of chaos, but never enough people, commenting on the order, the things that are going well. And if we do comment on what's going well, the negativity of you being a boaster or braggadocious just continues. And then if you speak about the negative too much, if you talk about the real problems, then people look at you like you're a charlatan or some sort of, a pariah, some sort of scarlet letter and that your value to society scum. You scum. You I'm greater than you. I am a white knight. I am the knight of all knights. And instead, a lot of the problem is that people don't profess this. They always want to show them living their best life online, and I'm not comfortable with that. I want to show the negatives. I want to show as much as I can, and within the systems that allow me to portray the most dark things that we deal with as humans. And I mean, to my extent, not to the point at which someone's harm from the darkness. There's a saying that what in the dark will come to light. For those of you who do not put what is in the dark into the light, that which happens in the dark will come to the light. And the irony of a lot of these things is just that the life is just never perfect. What you want to accomplish out of the things you do is never happens the way that you wish it would. And it and a lot of times it goes the way you wish it wouldn't. And I just sometimes wonder if there's why does that happen? Why are we constantly facing this struggle? Why are we constantly facing this struggle of people trying to expose you? Isn't there enough exposure of yourself? People always want to adjust the light. Everybody wants to. They never want to do. It appears like the things that you want out of life, the society doesn't ever want to put the right exposure on you to allow you to achieve what you want. It's your constant battle of chaos in order for you to get the exposure right. And the tools that you get don't always provide you with the mechanisms to build that exposure. You know what I mean? The cost of having the right exposure is so great. It's the barrier of entry to being successful is so great. We as a society need to kind of balance that out. We need to make more positivity, more order to the chaos. That the misfortunate part about that is that the chaos will most likely become greater if the consequences of the chaos will be far greater if the amount of order is significantly greater. The consequences of chaos at the time, since it's constant chaos, is understandable. We understand when someone slips on a bed of ice and cracks their noggin or breaks their tailbone, that was that. But if people develop non-slip bed of ice shoes or some sort of thing to protect your tailbone, the world will develop a way to circumnavigate that problem. The world will determine the ultimate reaction to that perceived alleviation of a problem. So, I mean, it would assume that we would want to get rid of problems on a global scale, like global warming, nuclear holocaust, gender discrimination, race discrimination. But the problem is if we alleviate these issues, the consequences, the chaos will ensue far greater. If we bring order to something on a standardization, it is likely that the consequences of chaos will become far greater on either a micro societal level or an individual. Our loss of that, the opposition of it, the yin to the yang, is what it is, really. So it brings into question, when we are faced with these issues of not feeling good enough, not feeling active enough, not feeling right, what are the consequences of that? And what random happenstance, what random occurrence may happen in the future in opposition of that? What order may come to the chaos, and what chaos may come to the order? Because today, for me, has been a day of chaos. So that's about the wrap of this podcast, because today, that I've came to the conclusion, today is a day of chaos. Everything seems to be going in a direction in which I have no idea how to bring order to it, other than, I go about my usual programming, getting dressed, taking a shower, eating breakfast, the same old thing. But it seems as though doing that, every bit and piece to that, has created chaos to the order that I had made for myself. My normal schedule has now been chaotic, and that now I'm adding this new thing into my world, but I had not done enough research. I was undereducated, underlearned about the consequence of this. So I guess this might be saying that this will be the one and only time that I get this done. or maybe not. I don't know. I want to be able to. This is the apex, the alpha of what is current. The best of the system, the best that the system provides as far as landscaping goes. They don't definitively tell you exactly what time or if you can schedule a time ahead of time for someone so that you can schedule into time when you're going to be able to provide that time, when a sacrifice of time will be good enough for you. Maybe in the future that there will be something to alleviate this stress. But waking up stressed and feeling like that today is just a day of expenditures and no income. Feeling like that the world is just not working the way you wish it would. Anyway, in closing, today is a day of chaos, and I'm just trying my best to be productive. And so I put out this podcast to just kind of voice my frustrations. If you're catching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, give us a like, and make sure to hit the notification bells to stay subscribed. In the description below, you'll see all of my social media links, a link to Crowdfire to get you started on social media tools, gig economy opportunities, and financial resources. I appreciate you for tuning into this video. I really appreciate your viewership. And if you want to hear this on any other network, if you want to hear it on your favorite podcast, go over there and check it out. It's going to be up there soon. All right, have a great day. See y'all later.